Ô, Marmota, você viu?
So long So apparently this could break my Nintendo Switch 2. Challenge accepted. This is a Switch 2 dock, technically. Now, there are a few red flags. First off, this logo. What even is that? And second, there's obviously a big difference with the official one and the fake Amazon one for 15 bucks, by the way. It mainly has to do with the fans that are built inside of this dock, which is not for cooling the Switch 2, it's for cooling the dock itself. And clearly we don't have any fans built in on this thing. So let's actually test it out. So we've got a power adapter and an HDMI plugged in, and now all we need is the Switch. Here we go. Yeah, I got scammed. So apparently this could break my Nintendo Switch 2. Challenge accepted. This is a Switch 2 dock, technically. Now, I found a really cool but useless thing that Nintendo did with my Switch 2. So I went on their new eShop app and I wanted to download something. I eventually found what I wanted to download and clicked download to console. When I selected what console I wanted it to download to, I of course clicked my Switch 2 because that's what I play on. But something very unique showed up that kind of blew me away for some reason. And that's when it showed my Switch 2 as a download destination. Because I have the new purple and green Joy-Con, it showed it on the icon. It's kind of useless but cool. I found a really cool but useless thing that Nintendo did with my Switch 2. So I went on their new eShop app and I wanted to download something. I eventually found what I wanted to download and clicked download to console. When I selected what console I wanted it to download to, I of course clicked my Switch 2 because that's what I play on. But something very unique showed up that kind of blew me away for some reason. And that's when it showed my Switch 2 as a download destination. Because I have the new purple and green Joy-Con, it showed it on the icon. It's kind of useless but cool. I found it really cool. My Switch 2 Pro controller is already getting destroyed, and I've only had it for 8 months. I'm not opposed to wear and tear on a controller, and I only noticed it when I bought the Resident Evil Pro controller, how worn out this one truly is. So let's look. You can kind of see on the analog stick, it's a little bit scratched and a little bit worn down. It's a little bit more shiny. It's losing that matte texture on it. I got a little chip on the controllers, but worst of all is the scratching. It's the worst on the very back, especially on the corners here. I think it's gotta just be from doing simple things.
Demorei 5 anos para descobrir que dá para achar clipes hilários que outros fizeram de você. Não estou nem brincando. Encontrei toneladas de clipes de pessoas furiosas depois que eu as matei com um tiro ou de gente pirando com minhas jogadas. Tudo o que fiz foi criar uma conta no Medal TV, que é o maior software de clipes que existe. Depois de vincular sua conta Steam, você pode clicar na página do álbum e encontrar muitos desses clipes. Mas se por algum motivo você não tiver nenhum, é só jogar algumas partidas com o aplicativo e alguns apareceram. Demorei 5 anos para descobrir que dá para achar clipes hilários que outros fizeram de você. Não estou nem brincando.
I just bought the Switch 2 headset to see if it would be better than the Virtual Boy that Nintendo released themselves. This was a mistake. So first of all, this headset was $60 in comparison to the $100 for the actual Virtual Boy and the $25 for the cardboard. But here's the main difference. I bought this on Amazon, so it came faster, but this actually has straps on it, so I'm not needing to slump over in a weird position for this, and I'm not needing to hold it up to my face with this. It just kind of sits on my face. However, it's horribly heavy. While it does work, it's a little bit blurry, and the screen is a lot smaller while using this. But the lenses can move around a little tiny bit more. It's a little bit easier on the eyes because the lenses aren't red like, you know, these ones. But it's still pretty heavy on your face and just not worth it. Get the cardboard one. I just bought the Switch 2 headset. I dropped my Joy-Con 2 from over 600 feet to see if it would survive. The idea was simple. I attached it to my drone via chain, and when it got to the max altitude, I simply dropped it, and that's what I did. It was a little hard to find, but using the Find My Controller feature on the Switch 2, I was able to hunt it down in the middle of a field. Thankfully, the snow kind of saved it a little bit here, but hey, it still works. I dropped my Joy-Con 2 from... How is the eShop still this broke? Nintendo's finally learning. Or maybe that's just what they want us to think. Yoshi and the Serious Book just got a release date and
So it's come to my attention that there's an infamous emote. It's kind of like the elephant in the room that we're...
Everyone is angry at me because of my... Switch 2. Let me explain. So I just recently did a video showing off some of the cosmetic damage on my Switch 2 after about 7 months. I showed off that the analog sticks are starting to wear down, that I have some scuffs on the controller, and I was just kind of explaining the wear and tear that I have on my Switch 2. And yes, I do put my Switch 2 through probably more than the average consumer. However, this is why I got a ton of hate, because a lot of people said that their Switch 2 looks brand new. And while that makes sense, I think that most of them I just bought the dumbest Switch 2 dock ever, and it actually works. There's been some third-party docks that just don't work for the Switch 2, but this one does, and I'm pretty excited to show you. First of all, this was less than $100, which is cheaper than the official Switch 2 dock on their website, but it's more than just a dock. Yes, you can dock it. It's not plugged in, but it does work, and when you dock it and plug it in, the lights glow, and there's even a charging port for additional Joy-Con, which means that you can charge up to 6 Joy-Con on this dock. Now, it is a little big, but it works, and it's kind of cool. What do you think about it? I just bought the dumbest Switch. Is this cheap Switch 2 all-in-one case better than the official one? Let's find out. So first of all, we all probably know, but this is the official Nintendo Switch 2 all-in-one carrying case. That costs like $100. It has a bunch of stuff in it. But then I look over at this one, and it's this Mario all-in-one case I got on Amazon for like $20. Is it just as good as this one? Let's have a look. First of all, it's definitely a little bit more cheaply made, as we can tell, but it's got some really weird perks. First of all, it has this net that can hold accessories the same. The Switch 2 does have extra cartridges, but I mean, whatever. It's not like I'm storing many games except for the best one of them all. On the official one, it has specific slots for specific accessories like the Pro Controller and the Joy-Con, and of course the Switch itself with a dock. But what I kind of like about this Mario one is that I can just put the whole Switch in here without needing to unplug the Joy-Con. It's definitely not as durable or high quality as the Switch 2 one, but I mean, $20, $100. I mean, this one looks cooler too. I'd probably just get that one. What do you prefer? Is this? I bought Nintendo's most annoying product. How is it? Is it actually that bad? The Talking Flower has officially released, and I don't really know why I bought this. Thankfully, it wasn't that expensive. It was only like $30. It can talk freely and randomly throughout the daytime. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. It can tell the time, but is he always accurate? Is he not accurate? Why wouldn't he be accurate? Daylight savings, am I right? If you press the button for 2 seconds or more, he'll play music. There's also multiple languages. All right, let's set this up. All right, here he is. He's not that bad if I click the button.
They say the ocean tastes like tears.
What? But it does more than just talk. Why aren't people happy with their Switch 2s? Well, I think there could be two. Everyone is angry at this game, and it makes sense. This is the very first Nintendo game that has a game key card. But I'll be honest, I think it's fine. Hear me out. Yes.
Olá! Meu filme estreia no...
What is Nintendo doing right now? They just released a brand new Kirby Air Riders amiibo, which is... Nintendo is treating me like... Is the cardboard Virtual Boy worth it? Let's find out. So I'm sure you know Nintendo re-released the Virtual Boy for the Nintendo Switch 2. They did a full replica of it that's playable, and then they did a little cheap cardboard version. Now, the main difference is this is over $100 and this is about $25. But why? Well, that's for the people who don't want to purchase $100 worth of plastic. And if you just want to experience the games, you can use this cardboard model. But there are some issues here. Like, first of all, there's no stand. So you actually have to hold the Nintendo Switch up to your face while you're playing them, which I don't actually mind, but can get a little uncomfortable after. Did Nintendo actually cook? They just released this Rosalina's book. Anyways, I found it on sale on Amazon, which I didn't even know that they sold it on Amazon. I thought it was just a Nintendo store thing, but let's open it and see how it is. First of all, it's a little bit smaller than I expected, but man, this is so nostalgic. It's got this like glossy star on the front. Oh, that's not very appealing, but maybe I can take this off. Oh my goodness, that's the worst. Whatever, let's open it up. Whoa. Yeah, so this is literally the exact same book from the games. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Ha!
Pokemon just sent me something, and I have no idea what it is. But let's open it up. Major style points for the box. That's kind of epic. I wonder what game this is for. This is such an amazing box. All right, let's have a look. Whoa! Hey, what? What the heck is this? All right, I'm not quite sure what this is. I'm gonna be honest. The Switch 2 has no games, or so that's what people are saying, which I don't understand. I mean, can we just look at the eShop right now? There are so many games coming to the Switch 2, and there are a ton of games.
Amor, passei Gillette, tirei a barba.
I think technically. Now, there are a few red flags. First off,